Good morning. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't know about you. So I've just got up. I'm back up in North Yorkshire again. It's still a bit early, so I thought what I'll do is I will at least have a brew before I get started. So it's just a case of just waiting for it to get a bit lighter. On my way in, I just had a quick scan round with thermal, and I did see a few deer about. So it's now a case of trying to catch up with him. It's very still this morning. The moon was out quite a bit last night, so I'm guessing that they were out feeding a lot during the night. So they might be just wanting to get back into wood as soon as it gets light. So I've got to be quite quick probably. But I've got probably another 20 minutes or so, and it should be a good light. Maybe 10 minutes or so. But I'll definitely bump stuff if it was in shadows. So I'm just going to leave it and let things calm down a bit. I've got all my kit ready. It's just a case of putting it on and picking it up, and off we go. So hopefully we'll get something this morning, and you'll get a video. I'll see you in a bit. Right, so I'm going to try a little bit of voiceover work on this one, just to give you a bit of an idea of what's happening. So from where I'm stood, I'm looking across a little valley to a cover crop, and I can see there's a doe, a couple of youngsters, and there's a buck in the field as well. Now, if I carried on going the way that I was quite easily going to be exposed, and they might even spot us. So what I thought I'd do is work my way back round, down into the valley, and there's a small bridge and a couple of gate holes to get through, to try and catch them out on the opposite side. So creeping down the edge of the field, because I don't know if they've moved forward or if they've carried on sort of milling around in the field above it. I get to the gate holes where there's the bridge, and I can see the buck. He's quite happy, scraping his antlers up and down this what looks like a bit of kale. The doe's there with the two youngsters as well. I think that's a little buck that's behind him. I can't really move anywhere. They're skyline, so obviously I can't take a shot. And if I move any further, they're probably going to spot us and disappear off. Luckily, they do move out of view, and I can work my way across the ditch at the bottom, through the gate holes. I think they've gradually started to move off to the left again, so I turn left, work my way up along the edge of the hedgerow, this little bit of grass where the tree tubes are. Try and catch them up at the top, and there we go, there's a couple there. Now I don't see them at first, because I've got the GoPro on my head, I don't see that third one to the left. So what I thought I'd do is I've just got to freeze here now. I can't move anywhere. If I go any closer, they're only about 10 yards away. And then this little fella to my left hand side, he's even closer. Definitely can't move anything, it's just going to spook them. They're all skyline, so I just wait here to see what happens. This little one keeps looking at me to see what I am. Then the buck appears behind him. Well, I couldn't quite just beat him to the corner there. As you can see, I got quite close to him. They were skylined virtually all the way, so that didn't really help. And then by the time they got to the corner, I was skylined, so because it drops down quite a bit, and it was a case of very close to the boundary, so I couldn't shoot over the boundary, even if they were backstop. So it was a case of, because I know there's cattle in the other field, I was hoping that they might drop back out into the field again, but no, that didn't happen. So what I've done now is I'm walking back down the opposite direction. I know I've got another cover crop in front of us. There's a sort of rape stubble, a couple of fields of rape stubble. Go and check that field, because I've seen them there before, but I might be a bit late now.
everything's decided to go back in. Like I say, it was a full moon, well, not quite a full moon, but a very bright moon last night. So they've probably been feeding out all night and then going back in. But I'll keep going, you never know. If not, you'll see me in a bit finishing off. Smell like there was something dead down here, so I've just had a quick look back at the cover crop, and we've got a buck in there. Now I've just got to try and creep round to him to get me sent into a decent position for a shot. But he's not doing much, he's just feeding out in crop, so I should be alright.
Well, the last buck made it to the wood edge. A doe just jumped into the wood just before him. Then he followed in. I tried to go into the wood and come round, but it was very quiet. I think the doe and the youngster run off. Never saw the buck again. So last check on this little field. It's surrounded by ploughing. It's quite steep. Going into a bit of a gully, so that's why this one ain't worked. Just having a quick scan round. I can't see anything at first, but moving back to this field, it's difficult to spot, but there's a buck that's probably about 15 yards away from me, only a little set of antlers on it. So I moved back, I dropped my sticks down, because I thought there's no chance I'm going to be able to deploy him while he's just stood so close. So I thought if I can at least get to the post, I'm probably close enough that I can take a freehand shot. And you can just see him there now, not far away at all. Still a few too many little twigs just in the way. I've got to move into another position, get a bit closer. There we go, he knows there's something about. Turns back to look at me. I've got to be quick. And he's down. Right, so that's him all sorted. Like I say, a little tiny buck, hardly out on his head at all here. Very close together, so I don't know why that is, but there we go. At least there's one in the bag. Right, blatant self-promotion here now. So I'll just get my stuff out, clean it blade up. Right, so the knives that I sorted this one out with, I've made myself a new set. So I'm going to be making these ones. So basically, I've got one of my, it's a naked roe catcher, or catcher roe custom. So basically, it's just straight steel that's acid etched and stone washed, very similar to the original catcher that I did, that I've got outside here. So there we go, that's that one. But it comes with, or it can get it on its own, but I do make it as a pair. So I've got a little unzipper. So basically this little unzipper, you make a small hole and you can just open it up, bring it open. I think I can hear a vehicle somewhere. And it just opens up the stomach. Blunt end on it, so you don't need to try and put your finger onto the end or out like that. Just hook it in, draw it up, and it opens up the deer quite nicely. Like I say, I've made them in a little double sheath. So this one, just pop it in. Carrot sheath, so it's easy to clean up. Put it in the dishwasher's fine. I've put a metal clip onto this one. If you did want one, I can make them with a belt loop as well. that's probably detachable, so basically you can bolt them and swap them over. So I'm going to get all this packed up now, get the row into my bag, get myself kitted up, back to the van, and time for a brew. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. So the controversial head shot, would you take it or not? Now I was about 15-20 yards away from that one. It was very close. I felt confident with the shot, so I took it. It did drop, kicked for a bit. Made sure that it were dead. It wasn't going anywhere. So let us know what you think. Would you have taken that shot, or would you have left it? Put it in the comments below. Right, I'll concentrate where I'm walking and not talking to the camera. I'll see you in a bit.